Well, workouts are beginning again as the camp will start up again in the coming days for the Wisconsin football team as the Badgers restart their preparations for the 2020 season. The opener about a month away now against the Illinois Fighting Illini. We'll hear from strength and conditioning coach Ross Kolodziej, who will give us an idea of the challenges that this team has faced over the last several months and what's ahead as they get ready for this football season a little later than usual. We also continue with our Dream Season, week 2 of the Dream Season, presented by American Family Insurance, as we look back at the 1997 thriller in Evanston, the Wisconsin Badgers and the Northwestern Wildcats. We will hear from Barry Alvarez, who is, of course, on the sidelines for that game, and we'll also hear from the man who kicked Wisconsin to victory. He'll be interviewed by his old buddy, Mark Tauscher. All coming up on today's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
5 to shoot. Price off the wing. Hanging. Feeds Potter. Down the lane. Slam dunk. Count it. And a foul.
Badgers move from the field house to the Final Four.
Touchdown, Wisconsin. Kendrick Pryor.
Oh! Play spot open. Caulfield.
The Badger Sports Report is built by Ford, a proud partner of Wisconsin athletics. By Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Get up and get going. It's time to get your Fusion with a limited time offer. And well, let's just say more, like Copilot 360, Bliss, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, adaptive cruise control, Wi-Fi hotspot, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Woo, that's a lot. What are you waiting for? Get to your Ford dealer today. Right now, get Fusion with 0% financing for 66 months plus $3,000 cash back. Or lease one for just $199 a month. Hurry in.
Really like your backyard, man.
There's nothing to the east, so I can do this all day.
No, Patrick. East is that way.
Oh man, that's not good.
With Hy-Vee Aisles Online, it's easy to order online and pick up everything you or your neighbors might need.
Sorry about your hot dogs. All right. It won't happen again.
Okay.
Hy-Vee Aisles Online, convenient pickup, and we deliver too.
To say the least, the challenges have been great for the Wisconsin football team, really teams all across the country. The on-again, off-again nature. Will you play a season? Will you not play a season? Well, among those who are trying to help the players deal with the challenges, strength and conditioning coach Ross Kolodziej, possessor of 2 Rose Bowl rings in his time as a player. He knows what it takes, and he has helped guide these guys along to get them ready for college football 2020. Give us an idea of what these guys are facing to get ready to play college football.
Yeah, I think it'll be one of these things we look back on in 5, 10, 15 years and just be like, wow, right? How did you persevere? But, that's why you love athletics, right? Because it's the challenge. And this year, while it certainly is unique and there's never been a roller coaster ridden like this before, I think it also gives you great opportunity. And for our guys, I think they embraced it. They met it head on, and everything we talked about from the beginning, from March, and that was that ultimately a season will be played. We didn't know when, we didn't know how, we didn't know exactly even where, but it's happening. And so credit to their mental toughness and fortitude and believing in that, never losing sight of it. I think when you have a big goal and a big dream, it's easier to weather those storms, right? If your why is solid, all the other stuff, you can ride out the chop a little bit easier. And so, again, I think credit to our guys for just rallying around each other and never losing faith in each other.
You mentioned toughness and fortitude, probably imagination as well. I know we're kind of turning back the clock a few months in the quarantine time. You had some guys get creative to get their home gyms up and running and try to keep that strength level where it needs to be.
Yeah, I think all around. Initially we sent them some TRX suspension training systems, and guys got creative with those. We had a handful of guys build their own squat racks, whether that was out of like 4x4s and 2x4s and cement buckets, pushing cars, pushing trucks, finding anything they could to really train. And so again, going back to their resolve and commitment, and not making an excuse, right? Finding a way to get it done. And so I'm excited for our guys to get this opportunity, because that's what you're in this for, is those opportunities on Saturday to prove what you're about. And so again, credit to our guys for really just keeping faith.
You hear a lot, Ross, in athletics, and you know this better than I. You played it, and now in the role you're in now, coaches can say 100 things, but you look for team leadership, the players, if it's upperclassmen, whoever that may be, in any number of circumstances. Would I be right in thinking that that's ramped up even more given the world we're in now?
Absolutely. Especially with the uncertainty, especially with the limitations imposed, whether that's through COVID, whether that's been through cancellations and restarts and pauses. The guys in the locker room have to drive it really through all those kind of situations. And so credit to guys like Groshek, Mascalunas, Loudermilk that have really stepped up. There's a ton of other guys I'm leaving out as well, but those guys have really taken the reins, continued to message that day in and day out, and reflected in their actions.
Actual football or strength and conditioning related question here is, as you get these guys back, and I know there's been an effort, or there seems to have been an effort, to continue to try to to ramp up the athleticism, more team speed. I think I'm right in saying that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But do you like the direction that things are continuing to trend that way, Ross? Where people found out outside the program that Isaac Garendo can really run. That's one of many. You feel like that is continuing to head in the direction you want it?
Well, absolutely. The faster and stronger guys you recruit, the faster and stronger guys we'll have on game day. So
amazing how easier that makes your job, or more manageable, right?
So I would love to take credit for God-given ability that Garendo has, or JT before him, but really credit to the coaching staff. Credit to Saeed and the recruiting department, and all those guys that really work so hard behind the scenes to build those relationships, find those guys, get them believing in what this program's about, and get them around our guys. And it's as much our locker room too that sells itself. So, and that certainly makes it easier to go out and recruit that high level talent. Now, talent doesn't necessarily guarantee you anything. It just gives you, like Coach Chris says, a chance to have a chance. And so we like our chances.
Final one for you. I always like to get the perspective from guys like you. You've got some really nice big rings that you earned in your time at Wisconsin, late 90s and the 2000 Rose Bowl. Give folks a sense of how, even we all know this is abnormal this season, but even in the past few years, how different it might be, the preparation for a season, how a camp is run, the strength and conditioning, the advancements that you folks have made now compared to what it was like 20, 25 years ago.
Well, I think, we could go all day on this. I think the biggest thing, advancements wise, recovery, nutrition, the resources these guys have now versus 20, 25 years ago, tenfold, I don't think even does it justice with what guys have at their fingertips and available to them that way. Training, programming, there's no two-a-days anymore. Going out to training camp, some of these things are for the better. Some of them, I would argue, maybe not as good. Just even from building a team, camaraderie, those type of things. And so, but at the end of the day, whether it's COVID, whether it's no two-a-days, whether you have the greatest training table in the world or no training table, your objective never changes. Winning a championship, the goals don't change. And so our job is to really be problem solvers and find solutions to whatever those questions may be, regardless of the circumstance.
This past weekend was, I think, personally, certainly, and for a lot of people in our program, was a tough weekend with the passing of Father Mike Burke, who, for 40 years was part of this program and impacted a lot of lives, and was a part of a lot of great things. And I was fortunate to be around him a long time in a number of different ways. And, he was an important part of this program. And then, with certainly, the White family and thoughts and prayers go to James and praying for Lisa. And obviously, I personally felt blessed to know in the time I got to spend with Tyrone, unbelievable person and energy. And, those of you who were here and know James, James has a lot of those same great qualities you got from Tyrone, namely in his running skills. I remember going on a visit and watching Tyrone's clips from they called the Pig Bowl, but it was one of those guys that had a great smile, sense of humor, cared a ton about people, and so it's two people that we will miss greatly, and had an impact on a lot of people in this program.
Get up and get going. It's time to get your Fusion with the limited time offer. And well, let's just say more, like Copilot 360, Bliss, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, adaptive cruise control, Wi-Fi hotspot, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Woo, that's a lot. What are you waiting for? Get to your Ford dealer today. Right now, get Fusion with 0% financing for 66 months plus $3,000 cash back. Or lease one for just $199 a month. Hurry in.
It's back. The return of the prestigious Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, honoring college sports excellence across all competitive divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow along with L Directors Cup on Twitter or online to see which schools will be taking home a first place trophy in June for their season-long success. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, a premier institutional award jointly launched in 1993 by USA Today and NACDA.
In the 1990s, both the Wisconsin and the Northwestern programs became really good on the national stage, and both programs took turns punching each other in the gut. As we focus on this week's Dream Season game presented by American Family Insurance, we go back to 1997 in the Badgers game in Evanston against Northwestern. And remember, the previous year, a late turnover led to a late touchdown as Northwestern, in essence, stole the game at Camp Randall Stadium. Well, the rematch had a similar storyline, only the right team won this time, as we get thoughts from Barry Alvarez and a couple of guys who were part of that 97 Badger team.
Sunder up to the left, straight I formation. Martin and Dane as Samuel surveys. Off play action. He wants to throw. He wants to go deep, and he does. Right side for Tony Simmons. Got it. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Mike Samuel to Tony Simmons. 38 yards, and the Badgers go back on top.
Well, suffice to say, Wisconsin and Northwestern have had some terrific, wildly entertaining games. And the 1997 game in Evanston was one of them. We're biased because it was an entertaining game that went Wisconsin's way. And Barry Alvarez, you know that team better than anybody, that 97 team. That was a younger group. You know, a guy like Chris McIntosh was more of a veteran, but a lot of younger guys. Ross Kolodziej, part of the defensive line. But it was just one of those classic down-the-wire games.
It was, that was really a good season. We won some very close games. It seemed like every game came down to the wire. if I remember right, that's the year Indiana scored late, looked like they won the game. They try a squib kick. We get good field position, go down, kick a field goal and win. But this Northwestern game, the year before, they beat us the same way. Ron fumbled late, and they hit an out and up to win in the last few seconds here. And here they're putting the game away. They're down inside the 10-yard line, I think. When they fumble, we knock the ball loose, recover, and not a lot of time on the clock. Mike takes us down the field, and I can remember watching the yardage and standing with Davenport, Money we called him. No, he nicknamed himself Money. And I said, we need 10 more yards. He said, no, I can get it from here, Coach. You know, that's a kid that could barely make it reach for an extra point when he showed up.
That's right.
So, and I'll be darned, he did it. You know, he said, no, that's close enough.
48 yards, and adding to the storyline there, or the drama, that previous week when Dav hit the game winner against Indiana in the dog pile, the celebration, Mike Schneck, your long snapper, dislocates his elbow.
Celebrating.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that's just the way it works. And then Mike Sowald was your long snapper the following week, and air-mailed one or two.
A bit inconsistent.
A little bit, but if we remember right, you told him to hang in there. You're still going to play a big part of this. And when it was a money snap, when he had to have it, he got it there. Maybe not lightning-like swiftness, but he got it there and set Davenport up.
Yeah. And, kicking off grass, 48 yards at night, a little chilly. I mean, that was special. But he was very confident, no doubt in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm close. That's close enough, Coach.
You mentioned, go back to Mike Samuel, too. He was a guy that he wasn't always going to look the prettiest, but there was a clutch gene to him, right? And it showed again in that Northwestern game.
Mike Samuel might throw the ugliest pass. It might be end over end. You don't know how it's going to come out. We give him a fourth down. Give him a fourth down. That ball is going to come out of there spinning now, and it's going to be where it needs to be, or he's going to pull it down and run it. But he was a clutch player.
And he had a fun target. He had a few of them. Obviously, Ronnie in the backfield. Touchdown, Tony Simmons. Big in that game. 6 catches, had a touchdown. But he would talk about a guy who could stretch defenses. He could do that.
He could fly. He could fly. We provided our track team with a number of points with that football team.
Boy, no kidding. I think a few years earlier, a guy named Reggie Torian, he could run a little bit too. But that was a fun game, fun memory lane game. The Badgers and the Northwestern Wildcats, back-to-back weeks. Matt Davenport with the field goal in the closing seconds. Stay with us. More to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
Really like your backyard, man.
There's nothing to the east, so I can do this all day.
No, Patrick. East is that way.
Oh, man, that's not good.
With Hy-Vee aisles online, it's easy to order online and pick up everything you or your neighbors might need.
Sorry about your hot dogs. All right. It won't happen again.
Okay.
Hy-Vee aisles online, convenient pickup, and we deliver too.
Get up and get going. It's time to get your Fusion with the limited time offer. And well, let's just say more, like Copilot 360, Bliss, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, adaptive cruise control, Wi-Fi hotspot, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Whew, that's a lot. What are you waiting for? Get to your Ford dealer today. Right now, get Fusion with 0% financing for 66 months plus $3,000 cash back. Or lease one for just $199 a month. Hurry in.
Sowald snaps, Rosga holds, Davenport for the second straight week, trying to win a game for the Badgers. 48-yard try, hash mark right. 11 seconds left, Northwestern up 25-23. The lines are down. Snap, it's good. Spot, kick, in the air, long enough. He did it again! Matt Davenport did it again! And Wisconsin leads by 6 seconds to play.
Going into that kick, they did ice me for sure. And I remember that. It was Gary Barnett, and I remember going out there. Okay, they called timeout. And I sort of turned around and just was looking down the field doing little practice kicks and stuff. And feeling that sense of like, I felt more of the moment on this one. Like I felt more of that. I don't know what, maybe as a visiting field, maybe that was part of it. But lining up, taking my steps back, I remembered Rosga after the Indiana game, and we're in the locker room. He's like, dude, if you ever do that again. Don't run so far so we don't have to chase you. And that was a thought that passed through my head. After I make this, don't run away. Just like stay local. So like, it's funny if you watch it, it's literally like first kick, I run down the field. This one, I like stayed 2 feet from where I kicked it. But yeah, the snap was perfect. The hold was perfect. And it was one of those, it was a kick, much like what I described in the practice, where I just hit it so well. And the moment I hit it, it was just quiet. And then it was on a trajectory that I knew it was getting there, and it was hit well. And it was, obviously elation. And, I remember Ron Dane coming up to me after telling me I should get a tattoo of a $ sign after that. I didn't opt to do that. I appreciated the advice in the moment, but I didn't opt to do that.
I think when your name kind of got where people started recognizing you, you did an interview, and then the next day, which Wisconsin, especially Coach Alvarez, it's always about the team. Well, one of the interviews, I think it was with Mike Lucas, that you came out and gave yourself the nickname Money. How'd that call come about?
Well, it's one thing for someone else to give you a nickname, but you got to take an opportunity to kind of, brand yourself early. No, what happened was, Mike Lucas, he interviewed me after practice. And you got to understand, I have no media training. I don't know anything about anything. I think I had a good practice, and I was just kind of feeling it. I'm like, and so he goes, like a good interviewer that he is, so what do you think your range is? And I said, I'm pretty much money from 45 and in. And nobody talks like that. But I will blame it a little bit on that. What was the movie with Vince Vaughn? You know this movie.
Oh, Swingers.
They said money a lot. You're so money, baby. And so I want to point that to Vince Vaughn a little bit. But the moment I said that to Mike, I regretted it. I was like, I can't believe I just said that. Now I kind of understand what's going to happen. And I don't know if you remember this, Tausch, but we got like a night off, and we went to, I think it was with Pat Gill and maybe Jason Eck, and we were at someone's apartment, and we were just hanging. It's like one of those, it's like leaving prison for 4 hours. And so we go there, we're hanging out, and I remember saying to you guys, hey, I'm kind of concerned about something. I gave this quote, and I feel like it's going to be, and you guys were like, nah, it's fine. It's no problem.
Really like your backyard, man.
There's nothing to the east, so I can do this all day.
No, Patrick. East is that way.
Oh, man, that's not good.
With Hy-Vee aisles online, it's easy to order online and pick up everything you or your neighbors might need.
Sorry about your hot dogs. All right. It won't happen again.
Okay.
Hy-Vee aisles online, convenient pickup, and we deliver too.
It's back, the return of the prestigious Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, honoring college sports excellence across all competitive divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow along with L Directors Cup on Twitter or online to see which schools will be taking home a first-place trophy in June for their season-long success. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, a premier institutional award jointly launched in 1993 by USA Today and NACDA.
The Badger Sports Report is built by Ford, a proud partner of Wisconsin athletics. By Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
We thank Barry Alvarez, Ross Kolodziej, Mark Tauscher, and of course Matt Money Davenport for joining us this week. Join us again next time as we recap Game 3 of the Dream Season presented by American Family Insurance. Thanks for watching.
Get up and get going. It's time to get your Fusion with a limited time offer. And well, let's just say more, like Copilot 360, Bliss, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, adaptive cruise control, Wi-Fi hotspot, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Woo, that's a lot. What are you waiting for? Get to your Ford dealer today. Right now, get Fusion with 0% financing for 66 months plus $3,000 cash back. Or lease one for just $199 a month. Hurry in.
It's back, the return of the prestigious Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, honoring college sports excellence across all competitive divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow along with L Directors Cup on Twitter or online to see which schools will be taking home a first-place trophy in June for their season-long success. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, a premier institutional award jointly launched in 1993 by USA Today and NACDA.
Progress is an endless challenge. Here at the University of Wisconsin, we're a community of innovators in constant motion. We think on our feet, connect with each other, and hit our stride, pushing past limits. Progress is an endless challenge, but it is only those up to the challenge who change the game.